Hello everybody and welcome to the Talks a Lot Boys present This Month in Music for the month of March 2021. I'm your host, my name is Tyler, and as always I'm joined by the boys. We've got Brennan.
What's going on, folks?
And we've got Kyle.
Hello. Hi.
I didn't like the laugh, but we're gonna keep it.
In the moment I was like, I don't know what to say.
Only made me slightly uncomfortable.
I was gonna make an April Fool's joke, and then I was like, I'm not gonna. It's not worth it because this won't go up on April Fool's, so it doesn't even matter.
No, it'll go up on April 8th.
Beautiful.
Which is not April 1st.
But we are doing it on April 1st, as if we are doing it when it's supposed to be done.
We're recording this on April 1st.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about March, and March is over, and it was full of a lot of good tunes. And we're gonna talk about some of them. First of all, speaking of tunes. That's why we're here.
I'm here for them tunes, those tasty tunes. What do you got to talk about with those tasty tunes?
So Tilian released a new single this month. I believe it's probably the last single he's going to release before the release of the actual album that's coming out.
Yes.
Which I believe comes out on the 23rd of April.
I believe
something.
Yes. Something
in the 20s of April.
It's in the 20s.
Now, he released a new single, and I have a take on it.
Okay.
I was not a big fan of it. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't know how you guys feel about it. We have not talked about this yet.
Yeah, we haven't actually got a chance to talk together about this song.
But I was not a big fan of it. I think this is like the first time he's released a song in years that I heard it, and I was like, I don't know. Like, it wasn't bad, but I just like the weird chorus was just not my favorite. I think like the verses and stuff that were kind of like standard Tilian fare, like I was fine with that. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that the chorus is like bad. It's just like different, and I don't really know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think that I don't dislike the song. I dislike how long some parts go. I feel like the that whole part goes on like a really long time. With the music video, it works. Like I get because it's a lot a lot of interpretive dancey stuff going on.
Yeah.
And while there's a visual going on, that sounds all right. But then I later listened to it just in audio form, and I was like, oh, it's still going, huh? And everything else that happens in it, I like. I'd say I like it. I think the speaky, chorusy bits or whatever part of the song that is, the speaky parts are unique and different, and I appreciate that he's trying something different because they aren't bad. It's different. Odd that he'd pick it to be a single is my initial feeling. I can see that maybe he did it because he wanted to do a music video dedicated to it, because maybe he wrote that long boo 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 part to have a dancing thing with it. So that kind of plays into a music video, so that plays into a single, and but I don't know. I think it's a fine song. It's definitely not as good as the other two. I think the other two are really good songs of his. But yeah, I don't know. It's fine. What do you think, Brennan?
Yeah.
I mean, I can totally agree. It feels like a lot of things are drug out in it, a lot longer than they needed to be. It's kind of a similar criticism I had to Dose, but instead of it being a part of the song that just didn't need to be, it was everything was drawn out. And
yeah.
I guess if he was planning on making a music video for this, it makes sense. But then when you just listen to it on Spotify or anything that doesn't have a music video element to it, it's kind of odd.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like it sonically. It's not offensive or anything. It's just I don't know.
The part itself is actually pretty catchy too. But when it goes on for over a minute, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's get back
honestly,
to your vote.
I kind of zone out after a little bit because it's just so long, and I just kind of forget what I'm listening to and what I'm doing. I feel like if it were shorter, it might have left a better impression on me.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Kyle, I don't think it's bad. I enjoy that it's a unique take, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy that it's something different and something fresh. I don't know if it should have been a single, and I don't know how much I'm really going to come back to it.
Yeah.
You know, and we're going to do like an album review song ranking of this album when it drops, and I'm hoping that is the worst song on the album.
Yeah,
because like if that is the lowest point, then it's going to be a good album. But I'm concerned, I guess, that like if there's gonna be like more weird shit like that's just like even further off the rails, like that could either be really, really cool or like really, really not. So I think I'm a little more apprehensive going into the new album now than I originally was because of this single.
Yeah, same.
But that's just me.
I will say that like the first minute 15 of this song is gorgeous. Like I really like some of the vocal work done, and like specifically the first minute 15, and then like interdispersed throughout the rest of it too are really great moments. But like it's after that minute 15 where it gets into the really like the droney shit. So like I don't know. I have mixed feelings on the song because there are like chunks of it that I really like. Like I think some of his vocal stuff is really impressive in that first minute 15, and the rest of it is just like feels like it goes on a little too long. But like, and it's interesting too because Brennan, you mentioned that like that's how you felt about Dose. I don't personally feel like that is hard with Dose, but like it's that problem, but actually a major problem, I would say, in this song.
Yeah,
like,
and I don't feel that way about like the entirety of Dose. It's just like the last like 40 seconds just didn't even need to be a thing.
No, for sure.
And like, and even then, like that part drags on too long, and then it's like, well, this like the entire song has parts that drag on too long. Like the first time I heard the song, I was driving in my truck, and then like next thing you know, the song was over. I was like, what?
Yeah,
because I had just totally like forgotten I was like listening to something. Like
right, yeah.
But
so with all that being said, do we think like what are your thoughts? Going into the new album release, do you think it's going to surpass the previous album? Do you think it's going to fall short? Do you think it's going to be like on par? Just based on the singles that he's put out so far, what do you think and what are you feeling?
It's tough because I think that artwork wise, I like this one more. I think this artwork's really cool. Factory Reset is a cool ass album cover. I'm a little nervous now. When it was just Dose and Anthem, I was feeling like on par with hopes of shooting higher. Now I'm thinking it might fall a little short. The big thing I'm disappointed about is because when he released this newest song, Is Anarchy a Good Hobby, it came out for me to like pre-download on Apple Music, and you could see the whole track list, and there are no features on this album. And with as much as he's been talking and like posting pictures with people like in the studio working on stuff, maybe it ends up being a DGD thing instead of a Tilian thing with all of the pictures. But I was expecting at least one or two, and there's nothing.
I mean, so, to be fair though, he doesn't typically do a ton of features. Like I don't think, if I remember correctly, I don't think that there were any features on the last album either.
He might
on the Skeptic. No.
Yeah, I don't think the Skeptic had any. I know his first album, Tyler Carter had a feature on it, and like
Sophia
maybe
Sweet.
one other person. Yeah, but so that's not really an issue for me if there's no features.
Yeah, I guess for me it just kind of I had hopes for it just because of how much he was posting on socials with people. And that doesn't necessarily bring it down for me as far as like in comparison to the other one. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna place my bets on it falling a little short from the Skeptic, because I think the Skeptic's a really good album, but also with the hopes of being wrong. I think that's a safe hope to be wrong and be really pleasantly surprised, because I have no doubt that a bunch of these songs are gonna be great. At the very least, this album will have a bunch of like specific songs I come back to and I fucking bop to. But we'll see. Maybe it'll surpass my expectations. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Brennan, what do you think?
I don't think it's going to be much worse. I just think it's going to be a lot different.
That's fair.
I don't think it's going to be what we expect. And I mean, like Tyler said, I'm hoping that if this is the worst song on it, then maybe the future is still bright. But if it's not, then I do see it kind of falling short to the Skeptic. But I don't think this album's going to be like a lot worse. I just think it's going to be a lot different.
Yeah,
So,
that's
because all three of these songs have like a different vibe than the Skeptic for sure. So,
definitely, yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what he comes up with.
Yeah, I personally, I mean, I am a big fan of the Skeptic. I think it's his best work.
Same.
And I've listened to his solo stuff for like years and years, like way before the Skeptic and stuff too. So like, and the Skeptic is still like my favorite. I think that blows his old work out of the water. So just based on the fact that the Skeptic is so good and like so hard to make something better than, I don't think personally that it's going to be quite as good. But I do have hope based on the singles that have come out so far that it will be better than the two older albums. So I think it's going to be like a solid second place in my eyes. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope it ends up being like the best shit he's ever put out. Like I really hope it is. But I'm not expecting it to be better than the Skeptic. I think that might be asking too much. But we'll see. We'll see in a month.
Heck yeah. I'm excited.
Now,
I'm excited no matter what.
Yeah, same. I mean, Tilian is a talented ass man, and
love that man.
Always going to be excited no matter what he puts out. Even if this album isn't as great as we're hoping, I'm sure it's still going to be better than 90% of the shit that comes out on a daily basis. So,
That's for sure.
Yeah. So another band who's currently working on some new stuff is our good old buddies. They're not our buddies. We never met them, but they're our good old buddies, Slaves, soon to be changing their name. They've been posting a bunch of stuff, how they're working on new music, and they're going to be releasing stuff soon. They also recently teased that they're finally going to be changing the name of the band soon, which they talked about in the past when they brought on the new singer. So I anticipate that's probably going to happen between now and our next episode of the Month in Music podcast. So I would like to go around and just see if we can come up with some fun band names that they could potentially use, and we're gonna see if anybody gets even remotely close to what they end up actually naming the band. Brennan, I want to start with you.
So
because you look like you're ready to go.
I have two theories.
Okay.
One of them I think is they're going to change it to Better Days, like their last record.
I was kind of thinking that too.
Or, now, this isn't necessarily a name, it's more of a theory. They're going to release a self-titled album, but it's going to be of what their new band name is.
Yeah,
I can see
think
that happening.
Those are very safe bets. Both of those are like incredibly safe bets.
Yeah, because like to Better Days, like that would be awesome. But I feel like they're gonna want to start off like this new endeavor on the right foot, and therefore, if they make it like a self-titled with whatever the name is, boom,
I think it would be smarter for them to go that route of like making a brand new name with and like doing a self-title, because I think it would be kind of confusing. Like To Better Days would be a sick ass name for a band, but it would be kind of confusing to have like, when we were slaves we made an album called To Better Days, and now like we're To Better Days and
what if
we
they
have
make
an
an album called
Slaves or something like it's just it would just make things more confusing, I think. So like,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Kyle, I know you're a creative boy. I want you to throw out some gold here.
Thank you. I have a question before I throw out some ideas to give me some creative juice to work with. What have they ever like said like what the origins of the name was originally? Slaves? Like,
yeah. So Slaves came from like being a slave to addiction is like what it came from. Because like Johnny Craig is like huge drug addict, and he's the one who like formed the band. And I guess that's where that comes from. Obviously, they're changing it because that's not the first thing you think of.
Yes, exactly.
And you hear the name, but yeah, that's the actual like origin of the name.
Got you. Okay, I didn't know that. I was curious.
Yeah.
So the first thing I think of, and I don't know why this came into my head, but the first name that struck me, and it could be just completely wrong, I'm just throwing something out there, is Under the Sun. And
Why?
I don't know. I it's just because you before this, Tyler's like, oh, we're gonna think of it. We're gonna talk about slaves and their new name. And what is it gonna be? And I was thinking I'm sitting there eating dinner, and I was just like, Under the Sun. It just got came into my brain. Watch it be that exactly, and I'll fucking cry. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like yeah, it's a tough one to figure out.
I mean, it's like there's basically no way we're gonna get it right. I think.
Yeah. I think that maybe they do something else then, like based around like addiction. Maybe it's just straight up addiction. Like something like that. That's different.
Yeah. Could be.
Because I feel like they probably want to keep some of the origin of the name in a little bit.
Probably.
So I don't know. Yeah, like something like my bets are gonna be on addiction and Under the Sun. Those are my bets.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
I think my guesses. I have 3 guesses.
Okay,
One
good.
based on your theory of they're gonna keep the drug references.
Okay.
I think they're gonna call their band A Needle in the Arm.
Oh God. That's terrible.
Second route, if they want to keep in more of the vein of slaves, they could call the band Indentured Servants, and then it's less bad. Or third, they're gonna go like a really meta route, and they're gonna call the band Better Without Johnny.
I really thought when you were on that train you were gonna say they're just gonna name themselves Masters instead of slaves.
No.
I really thought we were going. We're getting really meta with it.
Oh my God! No. Okay.
Really thought that's where you were going with it. I was like, oh boy, here it comes.
I wasn't ready for that.
I really thought that's where you're going. Good thing they're
God.
putting it all
Oh my
behind
God.
them
That's
though,
not
and
where I was
that's
going
not
with
gonna
that.
happen. None of that's gonna happen. I'll be all right.
I mean, that is pretty meta.
That's why I thought he was gonna say it. Knowing Tyler, I really thought that's where he was gonna go. But no, I mean,
Oh my
good
God.
thing that won't happen, and we'll never have to worry about
I can
that.
almost guarantee that one won't.
No.
I can guarantee all of mine aren't going to happen.
Probably.
But, yeah.
I do really like the idea of them doing like a self-title as their first one, though, and it's their new name. I think that's pretty smart, especially off of the success of the last one. I feel like really cement their name, whatever it be.
Yeah. I also just think it's really crazy that they're already working on new stuff.
Yeah.
Like, to the point that they're apparently already close to, like, releasing new stuff, and they just put that album out, like...
Not even a year ago.
August 7th?
Not even a year ago. It's been, like, 6 months or something. Probably more than that. I don't know. Time hasn't
Would it be,
been
like,
but
7
it hasn't
months?
been that long.
Yeah.
And I just, like... As y'all know, I'm a huge fan of that album that they put out last year, so I just really want more of their new sound because it's just so good, and I just need more of it.
100%.
Like,
I'm ready
old
for it.
slaves, fuck that shit. New slaves, daddy yes, please.
Daddy, yes. Throw that on the billboard. Tyler Luke says, Daddy, yes,
Daddy,
to new
yes.
slaves.
Awkwardly enough, my dad listens to this, and I'm sure he's going to make some comment about how that was weird to say.
Probably.
And it was, and I wasn't thinking about that, and we're gonna move on. That's the end of the main segment for today. I don't have a third topic to go into, so we're just not.
That's it.
And you know what that means? It's time to take our little baby boy toes, tippy toe them on over into the hot wet corner full of YouTube goodness called
boy.
Kyle's YouTube Corner. Roll the intro.
A one, a two, a skiddy-doo-doo-doo. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, and then it goes.
Yes! I
Yeah.
love it. Pump it in my veins. Gimme. Okay, let's go. All right, welcome back to the YouTube corner. Thank you all for coming. Nestle in this corner. We're squeezing everybody in there. Get all body heat. It's gonna be great because it's cold right now for some freaking reason. Gosh darn it, it's April. All right, so we're gonna start out with a man that I don't talk about a lot in the YouTube corner. Little man with a YouTube channel, Nate Wants to Battle, because he released 2 My Hero Academia covers this month. And goodness gracious, has this been the month for me to be hyped about that anime again. Because the first episode finally came out. It was a really good first episode, surprisingly. They're almost never that good.
The recap episode wasn't actually a recap.
Yeah,
I was like shocked and amazed. It was
like
great.
recap, but also like, here's like a giant bombshell we're going to drop on you right off the bat.
Yeah.
That I had spoiled for me, but it's fine.
Yeah, I knew about it too.
Yeah. But they released a cover of Higher Ground and a cover of Make My Story. 2 great songs from the My Hero. I mean, every song My Hero Academia has associated with it is pretty damn good. Like,
you're not wrong.
they're always slappy. And his covers are phenomenal of them too. So, especially because, no offense to other languages, I can understand these. Because they're in English. No offense.
Wow.
I can sing with this one, and that just gets me even more hyped.
You should be ashamed of yourself. I can't believe you've done this.
Another person that's almost always in the YouTube corner, opposite Anyone Wants to Battle, is Insane in the Rain Music, Mr. Carlos. I love you. Mwah. Welcome back. He wrote an original piece called Feels Like Home, and that song is pretty. I like it a lot. It's a very tender song, very sweet, very, very, very just wholesome. I'm gonna sit by the fire with a cup of hot cocoa and sip on it and be like, yes, it's April and it's time to do this. I don't care, and it's great. Check that one out. It's pretty good. He also released a cover of Dire Docks from Mario, and that was pretty good too. It's not on my playlist because it didn't come out yet on Apple Music. But that's okay, I'm going to talk about it anyways. It was a really good cover of Dire Docks. It's a very popular tune, and it's great. I also have one that I'm not going to talk about as much because I didn't actually listen to it a ton. Not as much as these boys. Our Last Night did a cover of Astronaut in the Ocean. Everyone's favorite song.
So good.
Amazing.
I want
good.
Before you look it up, before anyone keeps listening, looking up, tell me, like, who wrote that song in the comments?
I don't know.
Because I don't even remember, and I just looked at it. Because no one knows that, but then I heard it, and I was like, oh, I know that song. That's a good song. I think I hear it on TikTok sometimes. It's a good song.
Jesus Christ, you're so young, Kyle.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, a lot of people, you're just kind of behind, I think, is the new thing. It's because TikTok is really popular. Especially in the older generations now, too. So, but yeah, I think the song's really gosh darn good. I like the original a lot. But what do you guys think about it, that cover?
Oh, I've never heard the original, but I fuck with that cover so hard, dude. Like, I can't stop listening to it, man. Like, every once in a while, Our Last Night will put out a cover that I just genuinely adore, and, like, this is it. Like, I don't think they've put one out in a while that has, like, really, really done it for me personally. But then they threw this one out, and I'm like, yes. Give it to me, please. And I just listen to it like every day. So good. Still never heard the original. Still don't know who made the original. I probably never will.
That's all right.
But I like the cover, and that's all that matters.
Thanks. Yeah.
I gotta say...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, man.
No, you're good.
I gotta say, this is probably my favorite cover since My Ex's Best Friend came out.
Wow.
And this is in, like, a totally, like, different vein, though. Like, it's almost like an old school, like, palm muted guitar, like, going over it. Especially at the start, it sounds super fucking hard. And then, like, it's just, like Tyler said, like, I've been listening to it for a minute. Of course, I didn't put it in my playlist the right before because I kind of forgot about it. But it's still, I mean, it's a banger. Like, you listen to it. Like, I always hear the original being played on, like, TikTok and shit. Like, it's just, damn, like, hell of a good cover. For a band that can be, like, consistently inconsistent, Like this
Yeah.
is when they
Yes.
fucking hit. So
That is
true.
like the best way of putting that.
yeah,
They're
they
consistently inconsistent.
yeah, like they sometimes they drop some bops, sometimes they just fucking don't. But
Yeah,
this is,
they've had like entire albums of bangers and entire albums of not bangers, and they've had good covers and bad covers, and like this one just worked. I think like I really like the covers where they do like rap lyrics,
Yes.
like, but they scream the rap lyrics. I just think
Yeah.
it works really well
That
with
always
their
hits.
like sound, and like I just really dig it. Like
Yeah.
if they did shit like that in their like actual like music that they like their original tracks, I'd be down for that.
I'm
I
here
think
for
they
it,
should
yeah.
give it a try.
Yeah, throw that shit in
yeah.
there. Come on.
Yeah.
Boys.
that's like the Devil Wears Prada's cover of Still Fly. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
know that one.
I think I've heard that one.
Yeah, I have too. It's pretty solid.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. Well, thank you boys for joining the corner, talking for a second. That was pretty
Oh,
rad.
that's it? We're done?
No, I have one more. Shut up.
Oh.
I was just thanking you for being
You're
a part
kicking
of
us
it.
out of the corner before the corner's done?
No. I was thanking you because usually I just run through the corner and you guys sit near it and go, neat. But thanks for talking in the corner. I appreciate you joining in, throwing your little TED Talks in the ring. But we got one more to talk about. A new contender? Question mark? A little band named Galactic Kraken. Headed
Oh, is
by...
that Jonathan Young's new project?
Yes, it is. Headed by our boy that we do know and is a very often member of this frickin' corner, Jonathan Young. He's finally releasing his original album that he's been hinting at. He's been talking about it for a while. And goodness gracious, is it wild. It's fucking insane. They're the crazy music videos. Fucking just the craziest feature in Ninja Brian from NSP.
That was the greatest feature ever.
It could've-
by the- like,
yeah.
especially because of the music video.
Yes, 100%.
'Cause, like, it did exactly what I expected it to, in that it was basically nothing, and it was really overplayed and like overhyped to be nothing. And I was like, yes, that's what I expected. That's what I wanted.
When I first heard it, I laughed so hard at the ending, just in audio, and then I watched it, and it made me laugh even harder. Like, that's exactly what I wanted. It was phenomenal. The music, in case you're wondering, is not that heavy, actually, like most of his stuff. He
Not
usually does.
at all.
It's not.
actually.
Yeah,
It's like
very...
synth wavy type.
Yeah,
stuff,
synthwavy.
you know?
Got some guitar stuff in there. Got crazy like little jazz licks in there too. Like crazy key change. Like he goes everywhere. I mean, when he was hinting, I said it before when I was saying that it was coming up, that like he was like, this album is going to break every standard that like people want me to do. They weren't wrong, and I love it. It comes out in 2 days, and I am stoked as fuck.
Oh.
I
It comes out on a Saturday?
Yes, it does, for some reason.
That's weird. Okay.
He's breaking all the rules. He doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, he's literally breaking all the rules. Like,
Literally
yeah.
just kicking down every boundary. He doesn't care. He's just like, fucking listen to Jetpack Race. Get over here. But yeah, no, I love it. I am so fucking pumped to hear it. And you're definitely gonna hear me talk about it next month when I hear the whole fucking thing, and I can talk about it at length because it's gonna be great. But yeah, that now finally.
You just peaked so fucking hard in my ear.
That's what my mic knew it was the end. It knew that this was because I didn't even do anything that different. It just happened, and it was like, this is the end of the corner. It is done. Audio peak.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm just gonna hit you with a square ass waveform.
I
Like,
love it.
right in your ear.
Don't know why that happened. Enjoy
I
that.
don't either.
That's the gong of YouTube corner endingness.
I
It's
guess.
great. Play
So-
that shit backwards. Let's
No,
go.
don't play it in reverse. I wanna hear just a rigid, uncontrolled scream. Now.
From me, you want to hear
Yes,
me?
give
like,
it to me.
give me
Then
like a
I'll-
genre of which it would be
a
like
genre
would
of
appear.
scream. That's not a thing.
Like,
Kyle.
Metalcore.
would it appear like in like a metal, like a heavy metal song, like
I
Pixel?
want,
want-
you to
I want
start, I want you to
grindcore.
start from deep in your soul.
Okay,
And I want you to bring it up, and I want you to just raise the pitch as you raise your soul up, and I just want to see how high you can take it.
okay.
I want you to scare your wife and dogs, Kyle.
Let me
They're gonna
kick
lose
you
it.
off with a blech.
Okay, all right. Hit me, Brennan.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Blech! Fuck yeah.
Yes.
I got
Amazing.
lightheaded. Whoa.
Don't die on me, Kai.
Oh my
That was
God.
incredible.
That was awesome.
There it is. That's the end of the YouTube
And
corner.
you are now going to be expected to do that every time
Oh
your
my
section
God,
ends. So
no.
have fun now. Start doing some lung exercises
All right, yeah.
to get
Yeah, you
prepared.
better start doing some warm-ups.
That was. Ooh.
Oh, man. Well, we're coming out of the corner
Here goes.
and into the club because
Oh,
it's
boy.
time for Brennan to take us into the Gentleman's Club.
Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gentleman's Club. It is our monthly feature to see two very, very deserving contestants battle over who will gain membership into the Gentleman's Club. So, for those of you who don't know, Gent is a pretty progressive metal style of music. Go look that shit up. So, today, our first contestant is from a band called Era. That is E-R-R-A, not the normal way you spell Era. But this song is called Gungrave. Fucking hard-hitting, technical, gives you everything that your gent heads would want, plus some nice,
I
like
like
soothing
this
choruses and
song.
screams. Plus the whole album of Era. It is a self-titled. Fucking slaps. Check that shit out. And then we have our second contestant. For all you Avatar fans, this name of this band might tickle your fancies. So the song is called Polar, and the band is called The Last Bear Ender.
What does Bear Ender have to do with Avatar? Oh,
I think it's like-
Last Airbender.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the? Oh my fucking god! That-
He did-
oh my
I thought
god!
I
you
was
knew
gonna
that.
say, I was
Oh
like,
my
Tyler?
God.
Holy shit!
He didn't get
You
that?
are the guy with
Oh.
the. You have
Oh.
an
I
I thought it was
avatar
like Bear
tattoo.
Ender, like the Revenant. He ends bears. I didn't think about the fact that it was a pun.
No. All right,
I'm
so
not worthy of my tattoo. I have to shave my wrist off now.
Shave your
Jesus
wrist
Christ.
off.
look. If your mind was blown like Tyler's, hit us with a like. That'd be dope.
Oh my god!
If you want to see Tyler shave off his
Am I
wrist
an
live,
idiot?
That's why I thought you were laughing about it. I'm like, dude, The Last Bear Ender. You're like,
Oh, I
that's
just thought it
pretty
was
funny.
a stupid name because I was like, who the fuck ends bears? What does that mean? And I'm dumb. I'm just dumb.
The Last Bear Ender. Oh, so for all of you Aang fans and eventually The Legend of Korra, this is totally not that.
No.
This song
If
is
this
straight
was
up,
in the soundtrack
ooh
to
baby,
either of those shows, I would love
Aw.
them even more than I already do.
it'd be
if
like
this played-
NC-17. Like you would you wouldn't see this shit ever. But
if this played
yeah.
like during the last episode, this would have been hype as fuck. Like
Oh, yeah.
actually,
Like Aang goes into Avatar state to take out the Fire Lord and just fucking chugs.
yeah, it's just
fucking
oh
like
my
get
god.
after it. But this song is basically just a fucking punishment expedition. So I guess the vote's up to us. The three of us will decide which one enters the Gentleman's Club. Eventually we will have 12 of these for all 12 months. Oh, maybe not December. So like at least 11 of these. And we will decide who is the winner at the end and who will be the king of the Gentleman's Club. So, Tyler,
Yeah.
since your mind was just fucking blown, who wins this?
Dude, this is tough. I mean, like, last month's was a fucking throwaway. That was
Yeah.
like the easiest shit I have ever decided on ever in my life. This is legitimately difficult. Like,
Yeah, it's close.
on one hand, you have a song that I really enjoy that I have been fucking with like all month, from an album that I really enjoy that I have been fucking with all month. And it just does everything. It just does everything right. It's got really good unclean vocals. It's got incredible clean vocals. It's got just insane instrumentals. The whole thing is just this fucking tight ass package of goodness. And I want it, and I love it, and I need it. And then this thing that made me look like an idiot, and that makes me kind of not want to vote for it just based on that. But like, to give credit where credit is due, it was chuggy as fuck. I listened to it like for the first time right before we started recording this. I've never heard of this band before, obviously, and it just There's no real vocals, but it hits you with like just these weird like sound clips of like a philosophical dude just talking, and somehow it just works with just like the brutal like chugginess of the instruments going on around it, and it's just so like unique and good. Like, oh my fucking god, dude. I think either of these songs deserves to make it in, but like, gun to my head, no pun intended, I think I have to pick Gungrave just because like I've been listening to that song like all month and I just really, really fuck with it. And the clean vocals especially, I think just really fucking take that song home for me. That album in general, I think that like I'm really impressed with the clean vocals on it, especially above anything else. And I think that song is like a prime example of how it just works. So I think it's close, it's tough, but I'm gonna have to go with Gungrave.
That's a fair vote. It's a fair vote. Like, I agree with you. It's very tough. Brendan, would you like to go next? You want to hear what I have to say about 2 songs that I heard today?
That I heard today. I will save mine for last. So
All right,
far, we
that's
have
fair.
1 vote for Gungrave.
Okay.
Kyle, where are you going,
All right.
buddy?
The reason why I'm pulled towards Gungrave is because of those clean vocals, Tyler. Because like, as a man that really enjoys just clean vocals in general, those are some really clean ass vocals. I like them a lot. They're clean. I like them a lot. They're really fucking. I don't even know who the vocalist is for Era.
His name's Jesse Cash.
Jesse Cash. Oh my goodness, he making the money rain because damn, that's just good. I love his voice. However, on the other side of the chasm, we have The Last Bearender, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was informed about this song much like Tyler at the beginning, right before we started recording, rather. And I have had it playing in my ear this entire time because I like it a lot. I really, just on repeat, because I see, like, I'm not a huge, like, chuggy guy. I'm not a huge fan of the chug, but, like, I think that it's really good in moments. And, however, the way that The Last Bearender does this song, it's almost like, I'd like to compare it to a song that you'd hear while, like, riding in the lazy river, and you're in, like, an inner tube, right? And you're just kind of, like, basking in the sun. And you're just having a great time of life. Instead, I'm in a coffin and the river Styx, and I'm going to...
Yes.
But I've never been happier. And I'm just like this in my coffin, and I hear it over and over again, and then the little philosophical stuff makes me go, is this the end? Oh, but baby, it's getting even better. And it just keeps coming. And like it does like the speed up bits, and you're like, oh yeah, and then all of a sudden it breaks it way down, and you're like, oh my god, yes. And then I have it start over again, and I just keep on drifting down that sweet river Styx. And oh boy, that eternity that eternity is one that I'd love to have. I feel like I have to vote for The Last Bearender. This song,
Jesus, I mean, with that fucking metaphor, I would
so
hope
good.
That's the one you'd be.
So good.
If you had gone first, I might have voted for it just based on that imagery alone.
Well, Tyler, you can change your vote.
No, I'm not gonna change. I'm sticking with my guns. I'm not gonna change it. I'm locked in. But
I do think that it's extremely close, though. I think that, like I was saying, like those clean vocals are extremely good, and everything else about that song is phenomenal as well. But man, there's just something. There's just itch, this like beautiful, like serene yet chaotic itch that that Polar hits that I love. So yeah, it's a tie vote right now, Brendan. What you got? You got to decide.
Oh, fuck me. This because on one hand you have Era, like that song is more djent in like the traditional sense. Like there's a lot more like technicality going on. Of course, like the clean vocals of it really do take off. Like Jesse Cash is very gifted. I think the dude's name's JT Cavey or Cavey or whatever. He's the unclean vocalist. He kind of sounds like the dude from August Burns Red. But like that song is just a really good like all around package. But then you have The Last Bearender with Polar, and this is like Kyle, you hit the nail right on the head. Like, I feel like the world is ending. Like, I'm on my way to hell. Like, this is fucking like.
But I've never been happier, you know? Like,
yeah, like the world is ending. I am. It's just breakdown, like philosophical background with like a build up breakdown. Like, it's just, it's so fucking nutty. Like, that is something I would kill to see live.
Oh, dude, that would be insane.
I think I would literally die if I saw it live. I don't think I'd be able to survive the hits that would occur.
I think the bass drops, like the bass drops, like before the breakdowns would probably just kill us all. Like,
yeah, it'll just like send a ripple through the innards of our bodies, just for those pure vibrations.
Sound waves will just melt our internal organs into like applesauce.
There it
and we'll
goes.
just dissolve.
You know. I gotta go with The Last Bearender.
Yes!
I respect
that
it.
shit was so fucking like before the episode, like I was really struggling to come up with two songs for this, and I mean this one just rocked my fucking socks off. I was like, what the fuck, dude? So I gotta give it to Polar, The Last Bearender.
Welcome to the party.
That concludes our vote for who gets into the Gentleman's Club. Our
Hell
winner.
yeah.
By a vote of 2-1 is Polar by The Last Bearender. Although, quick round of applause for Gungrave by Era. The song
Closest
was a very,
so
very,
far.
very valiant. Gave a very valiant effort. But you will not be forgotten. But you will be forgotten by the Gentleman's Club. So,
Ooh.
back to you guys.
Them's the ropes, kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're done. We've left the corner. We've left the club. We're now returning home to discuss our picks of the month, as we do here every month on this show. We're going to give you each of our personal favorite single and favorite album that dropped this month. We're going to start it off with Kyle.
Ooh, interesting.
Kyle, I want you to hit us with your picks of the month.
Okay, so my picks of the month, man. First of all, I'd like to say, did you rehearse the whole corner to club to home thing ahead of time?
No, not at all.
That's pretty smooth. That was very smooth.
Thanks,
I
I
liked it. I just want to give you a little applause because that was not. I was like, ooh.
Insert
every time
lots of applause for me in post.
You slip that around. Yeah, there it all is. Wow. Okay, stop. Thank you. So I had a bit of a disappointment this month with my albums that were supposed to come out because, as I mentioned before, Dodie was supposed to release her new album this month, and I was very, very highly anticipating that album. Brennan, you said you were really interested in it as well when I first put some of the singles on a while back, so I was excited to hear what you had to say about it as well, and I was just so pumped, and then she was like, unfortunately, it's getting pushed back to May. So we're not getting this for a minute. So you're not going to hear me talk about that album for a while, unfortunately. However, I scrounged the internet. And by scrounged the internet, I mean I opened up Twitter. And the first thing I saw was somebody that I have never really been a huge fan of released a new album. Someone in the main eye. And the reason why I found out about this album is because he did a performance at Tiny Desk. A Tiny Desk is an NPR series where they have people come in and perform some of their songs live in a very small setting, kind of like stripped down versions of their songs. And it was Justin Bieber. And I was like, this is interesting. I don't listen to Justin Bieber very often. Now, I will say, one of the songs that was on this album that he released as a single ahead of time was Holy, featuring Chance the Rapper. And I'm a pretty big Chance the Rapper fan. I think he's a very talented musician. And the song itself is extremely catchy. Every time I hear it on the radio, I was like, oh, dope. This song kind of good. I kind of dig it.
This song kind of good.
This song kind of good. I kind of like. No, I think that it was... No, it's a pretty good song. I really like it. And I also heard him perform it live on SNL. I randomly watched SNL for the first time in a very long time, and he performed on there. Just so happened he was the feature, and it was really good live, too. And I was like, dang, okay, all right, cool. I'm not going to listen to you after that, though. But then the Tiny Desk concert happened, and he performed a song called Peaches on the Tiny Desk. And when he performed it live, he did it a little bit slower than the actual studio version that is on my playlist. But I was impressed as fuck. I did not expect it. I had seen a lot of people going, holy shit, Justin Bieber's back. And I was like, well, I don't know about that. Let me check it out. And he has like these R&B kind of jazzy little bits that he has in his music now. And I did not expect him to go that way. Like it's pretty good. I was like, okay, all right. And then he has a lot of really good features on this album. One of the songs I have on my playlist is As I Am, featuring Khalid, another very large vocalist in
DJ
industry.
Khalid?
No, you do that every time I mention that man. It's Khalid.
It's always funny. Because
never
DJ
funny,
Khalid is a
actually.
really talented person.
So talented. I love that man. But even in As I Am, there's a lot of really great harmonies of like the two of them singing together, and it's awesome. But Peaches, man. Peaches. Ooh, baby. Peaches. Ironically, both of the albums that I have featured on my playlist have a song with Peach in them.
I was going to say, I think
one of the songs
there's
that I
another
like,
album that has a song called Peaches on it.
yeah, Origami
that I'm
Buttons
gonna talk about
album.
later.
I like Peach a lot. I like that whole album a lot. But my album of the month is actually going to go to Justin Bieber, because I ended up going and listening to that whole album, which ended up getting an extended deluxe edition with even more features on it, featuring DaBaby, everyone's favorite rapper nowadays, and Tori Kelly, a phenomenal vocalist who was featured on Jacob Collier's album recently. I like her music regardless. Also, I don't even think I've said yet, but in Peaches, there's a feature from Daniel Caesar, who I love a lot, who was also featured on Jacob Collier's album. All in all, man, this whole album just surprised me. In a month where I was like, I don't have an album. What am I to do? I ended up getting Justice by Justin Bieber dropped upon me. Wow. And I was
anything I would ever think I would hear you or any of us ever say in any reality or timeline.
Yeah, I did not expect it at all. So, yeah, my album of the month is Justice by Justin Bieber. Take that as you will.
Wow.
Check it out.
And the single is Peaches?
No.
Oh, I was like, you're double dipping on Justin Bieber? What the fuck
I am
is
not.
happening?
Don't you worry. Because, and this is why I said the album first, because I was pleasantly surprised. However, the single that came out this month, of which I adore, my favorite song that came out the month, possibly so far this year, is called Leave the Door Open by a band called Silk Sonic. Silk Sonic is a new project created by musicians Anderson .Paak, who is a very talented man, and Bruno Mars.
Him, yeah.
Bruno Mars is way more known. I think Bruno Mars is... I've always been a massive fan of Bruno Mars. I think his voice is phenomenal. I've always loved the stuff he's done. And this song is incredible. It is like a 70s love ballad song, and I have had this song on repeat all month long. It came out like one of the first days of the month, and I can't stop listening to it. And they have an album coming out together sometime in the next couple months. They haven't had a date yet, and I have never been so excited about an album in my entire life, because it sounds like it's always going to be like 70s love ballad-esque stuff. Like the music video for this song is super just like cheesy, kind of like love song, and then the live performance of the Grammys that they did is spectacular. If you can, look up the live performance of the Grammys of Leave the Door Open by Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, the group Silk Sonic. It is phenomenal. Some of the vocals in it are some of the best I've ever heard. It is a beautiful song. Check it out. But yeah, that's my single. And my album, Justin Bieber, thank you for showing up. You saved me in a month of drought. But check out Leave the Door Open specifically.
Those are some incredibly mainstream picks, Kyle.
Yes, they were. And I'm not sad about it. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. Brennan, I'm assuming you're going to take us to like the deep, dark other world on the complete opposite end of the spectrum of that.
You are completely right. So for my single of the month, there was a lot that, I mean, really, there was a lot I really had to put up against each other for this. But I had to pick probably the nastiest fucking thing I heard. Well, possibly the second nastiest thing I ever heard. And that would have to be Mars Attacks by Darko US. I mean, this is
That is as opposite of Justin Bieber as it gets, I think.
I mean, Darko, they are a newer band. I think they just started last year, and it's the vocalist from Chelsea Grin. I think one of the guitarists from Amir, and it is just an assault of just like stupid brutality. Like it's, I mean, but even I say stupid, but like there is like some thought into it. Like it's like, licks and like intricacy a little bit, but I mean it's just brutal, unrelenting music. So I gotta give my single of the month to Mars Attacks, and apparently they're coming out with an album this year, so I'm looking forward to that shit. Mm-hmm. As far as album goes, oh boy, I got a fucking doozy for you guys. So Kyle, I remember you said you really enjoyed a song called Lifeblood from a band called Brand of Sacrifice.
Yes, it did.
Well, the album Lifeblood came out on March 5th, and holy fucking shit. This is, I made this point before to somebody. This album will be like the Thanos of deathcore. Like, when bands go into the studio, all right, when deathcore bands go into the studio, Brand of Sacrifice will be there with the Infinity Gauntlet, and they will tell them, "I am inevitable." Like this shit, like
oh my gosh,
this shit puts every other deathcore band on notice, dude. Like you motherfuckers better come out with some top notch shit. Like the bar has been set. Like my man is getting ready to snap. Like the fucking. Get ready to like just like dust half you motherfuckers away. Like this is. I mean, they even had the dude from fucking I Prevail in a vocal feature, like screaming, and it was like, it's
okay.
Still, like he was even amazing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But I mean, the interludes are so well placed. They are like perfect, like breakups to just punishment. The whole album. So, I can't gush about this shit enough. So, I gotta give my album of the month to Lifeblood by Brand of Sacrifice. Hell yeah.
Tight.
I definitely felt like I was getting Thanos snapped when I clicked on Demon King.
Oh, yeah.
And that shit starts, and I felt like I was disintegrating.
Listen,
from the ears, just slowly, my body was crumpling in on itself. I was like, "Oh,
no!" Listen to Perfect World and Mortal Vessel. It's in line in the album. It is like absolute perfect. It's like the greatest build up interlude to just like explosions, like fly off a cliff and shit. Like it's just so fucking nutty. And then even like Corridor Dreams and into Lifeblood is just like perfection. Like this album is just incredible. So
hell yeah, dude.
Tyler,
good shit.
I've been waiting long enough, man. What you got?
Should I do my single or my album first? Because you each did it in a different order. Now I don't know who to copy.
Whatever you want to do. Whatever you feel's best. Whatever's calling you. What's calling your heart?
I guess I'll just do albums since we were just talking about albums.
Okay.
So it was very tough for me this month. There was a lot of albums that dropped, two of which really stood out to me. Obviously, I can only pick one. My runner-up is going to be Era's self-titled album. I really, really liked it. We've already talked about one of the songs off of it today, but man, just what an absolutely stellar album. And like, I've never really listened to Era before. Like I've known about them, but I never really listened to them. But this album just kind of came across my radar, and I was like, I listened to one song, and I was like, I have to listen to this whole thing because it's amazing. But that being said, it could not beat out my number one album of the month, which is, of course, No Parking by Origami Button. Woo! Round of applause for the weird boys of Origami Button.
Hell yeah.
They are self-described as a math rock band for people who don't like math rock, and I think that's very accurate. They have some real like intricate instrumental shit. They just have such a weird and unique vibe, and like they never put shit out. Like they only have one EP prior to this, and they've been putting out singles leading up to this album. for the last couple months, and I've been so fucking excited for it. It's kind of a shame that it's only like 6 or 7 songs long, but like still, every song is just really fucking good, and I can't stop listening to it. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you check them out, because I would assume that you haven't heard of them before. They're pretty niche, but man, they deserve more attention, man, because they are really talented. I really, really like their sound. It's just so unique, so good, so tasty. All about it. Kyle, did you listen to the album?
Oh, I absolutely did. I love this album a lot. I especially because like I didn't expect it, because Button Season, their EP, was so good. Like I was just so impressed, and then this like took it up a notch. I was like, oh shit! Like some of the vocals in this are good. Like he really fucking dances around up, and then like specifically the one song that stands out to me the most is Nervous. I know that was a single prior, but like still that song, ooh, like that shit, oh my gosh. And like the way that Stag, the last song on the album, starts as well, where it like has like the drums super forward. I think it's Stag, right? That's the one with drums?
Yeah, Stag's the last song on the album.
Yeah, it's the one with the drums that start, and then like it builds off of that, and then it like changes up like the time signature a little bit, or like the like, at least the most like the prominent beat. And it's just like, wow, man, they're just trying all sorts of shit. And then like I was saying before, Peach has like so many different vibes to it, like way more like funky, kind of chill. And I was like, what the hell, man?
Peach has been stuck in my head for like a month, ever since the single came out. Like it's just been stuck in my head. Yeah,
I definitely think this album like impressed me a lot. My only like gripe with it is that there was a couple times, like specifically like the first half of the album, where I was listening to it, and there was some stuff that kind of felt pretty similar in those first couple songs that like it kind of made me zone out a tad. Those last couple that I just mentioned are all like the last 3 songs, and they all like were so starkly different that I was like, oh my god, like it just completely pulled me back in.
Yeah.
So like as like a full package, I don't think it like it peaks for me necessarily, but I think there's just so much good shit on here that I'm really glad you talked about it, because I want to talk about it too. I figured you were going to, that's why I waited. But yeah, this album is super tasty. I wish it was longer, and I wish the first half had a little bit more going on. But overall, this album is delicious. I love this album. I'm excited for more.
I also really like the guitar licks that they come up with. They're very reminiscent of like some of them kind of reminded me of like some Sean songs. Some of them reminded me of like Eternity Forever.
Yep.
That's like a really obscure cut right there, but like some of the licks just gave me that like same energy, and I was just like, yes, like this is what I crave, man. Like I love that shit.
Hell yeah,
Brendan, did you have a chance to listen to it at all?
I just had one playthrough, and I do gotta say there is a lot of like Chon elements I get. You know, like I do get that. I do share a very similar sentiment to Kyle as far as like I wish the first half had like just a little bit more going on, but like even then it was still tasty. Like I didn't have like a real problem with it, but overall just chef's kiss.
I will say, because I did not dislike the first half of the album. It's all the same good stuff. Like it's all really good. And then they make it even better and change it up at the end. So I just wish that vibe was the entire thing, and it would have like skyrocketed for me, as well as being more than 27 minutes long with 7 songs. I just want more. Give me more, Origami Button. Come on.
I know.
I can't wait for more. I can't wait for it. I'm pumped.
Oh, I know. I hope they put out some more stuff. And then for my single of the month. Now I feel like there were like some different options going throughout the month that I was like, this is probably gonna be it, or this is probably gonna be it. And then last week, my boys Paloma dropped a song, and I knew the second that I saw they dropped something, I was like, I can pretty much guarantee before I even listened to this that this is gonna be my song of the month. Because even though they've only released like 4 songs, they've all been like primo bangers. So, and the song that they released this in March, 2 a.m. Love Again, is no exception. It is a bop. It has been stuck in my head for a fucking week. I cannot stop listening to it. It is just so fucking catchy, and it just hits me in such a good way, and I just love it. And I love them, and they're so fucking good, and I just want them to release shit more consistently. Give me a full album, please. I want it. I need it. Like, they're so fucking good. They just have such a way of crafting these, like, punchy dance beat ass songs that just fucking work, and I love it. And if you haven't listened to their new single, like, fucking please check it out, because it is a bop and a half, dude.
Yeah, I mean, everything that you've shown me from Paloma in the past has always bopped. And I pretty much just share the same sentiment. I'm just ready for more. Like, just give me more.
Yeah.
Then this song slaps, too. Like, I really fucking like this song. I just think that, like, it's just such a good vibe that I don't get from a lot of bands. Like, I just...
Right.
So, the moment they drop, like, an album, I'm gonna fucking just melt at it. Like, it's gonna be so good. So, yeah.
If they ever actually release a full album, I will cream my pants, like, immediately. I will be... I think that if they do release an album, it'll probably be a scenario of, like, an album with only bangers. Or, like, I would hope that, like, they don't dip below the bar that they've set currently.
Yeah.
It's, like, it's impressive how, like, they don't release songs very often, but, like, each time they do, they're always, like, somehow better or on, like, the same tier as, like, the previous one. And that is just such a difficult thing to do, I think, when, like, the original single they put out was just such a fucking bop, and everything has held up, and it's just so fucking impressive.
For sure, man. Ugh.
But yeah,
Listen right now, it's so good.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all I got, and that brings us to the end of this month's episode. Anybody have anything in the forecast that they want to throw out that they're looking forward to before we wrap things up for today?
Not
I mean,
really.
I've got Jonathan Young on the horizon, and that's getting me super fucking pumped. Literally 2 days from now, so I am endlessly excited about that. Other than that, I don't know. So
Tilian, that's the one I know about.
that is this month too. That was the other one. I knew there was something else.
Tilian comes out the end of this month. We will be doing a review on that. So, you know, keep your eyes peeled and your ears
Open.
Yeah.
Not
Keep your ears
full of
listening.
Q-tips.
Your ears Q-tipped.
Keep those ears Q-tipped.
Oh my god. Yeah, keep your ears unplugged and your eyes unclosed for that, because that's gonna be a tasty fun time.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
The main might be putting something out. For some reason, I think that it might be this month. It's probably in the summer, but I really don't know. It shows you how big of a fan I really am that I have paid that close attention to it.
Like, it's happening.
It's happening at some point, though, so we will be talking about that eventually. But for right now, the only thing that I want to talk about before we leave is you at home hitting that fucking subscribe button, because I just want it, and you want it. And I know you want it, so you should do it. Subscribe to the Talks a Lot Boys. You'll get notified if you ring that little old dangly bell whenever we upload new content. We do this show every month. We have an improv show called Pitch It To Me Baby, where we make original characters. Those are super fun. Check out The Three Musketeers if you haven't already.
Oh.
It was such a good time.
It's a good one.
You know, we have the Tippity Top podcast, which maybe will upload new episodes. And by new episodes, I mean old episodes that were recorded that we never. It's
we'll
a
get
process.
to that.
It's fine. And we have album reviews. Obviously, we just reviewed a Wiggles album that came out last week, and that may have been the greatest video we've ever created. So I would highly recommend going and checking that out. If you want a deep analytical dive on Yummy Yummy by the Wiggles,
man.
we got you covered. It's there. Go check it out. I know I'm supposed to tell you to do other things now too.
Check out our socials.
Check out the socials. Interact with us. Comment below. Click like. Do all
Share
the
it with
things.
your
Make us
friends.
happy boys. Yeah, share this with your friends. Seriously, that would be awesome. If you enjoy our content, tell your friends who don't know about us to check us out. Maybe they'll like us too. We're gluttons for attention, so, you know, we're all about it.
We're here for
Our
it.
goal for this episode is to get to... We got to 1 comment on the last one. That was my goal on the Wiggles
Nice.
review. I was like, we got to get to 1. As of right now, we're at 3, so we're cooking with gas.
Let's get to
Hell
2,
yeah.
So
baby.
let's match that. This episode, I want to see 3 comments. And if it doesn't happen, nothing will happen.
Literally nothing.
yeah.
No consequences.
Literally no consequences.
if you need
Don't
something
feel
to
too
comment
pressured,
about,
but we'd
you
like it if you did that.
Yeah. Do you want to comment
Yeah,
about
a
maybe
comment
your
a bunch
song?
cuck.
I heard
Com-
butt cuck and I heard you start a sentence. What happens?
No, the comment
said-
a bunch cucks.
Oh, the comment. Yeah, become a comment a bunch cuck. And comment
yeah.
below.
Third time's the charm. If you want to comment down below to help us reach the three comments, tell us a song that you liked that came out this month, and maybe we'll listen to it,
Yeah.
and we'll tell you if it's good. Because if we say it's not good, then never listen to it again. Because what we say is law, basically.
Yeah, it's true. It's proven. So,
Yeah.
you know.
So yeah, do that.
That's
So
it.
so it has been written, so it shall come to pass.
All right, well, that takes us to the end of this episode. We have been the Talks a Lot Boys, and we'll talk a whole lot more next time. Kyle, finish us off with another guttural scream.
Oh, God dang it, okay.